Please stand. Good morning, warriors. How are you? Great. Please join me in the pledge to the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide its words in my heart, that I might not sin against God. Join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're working through our catechism questions. We've learned who made us. We've learned that God made all things. We do all things for his glory. We love him and obey his commands. That glorifies him. We've also learned that there is a Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And we've also learned about who God is. He's a spirit. He's unlike us. He's different. He doesn't have a body like us. And now we are learning... The first question is, does God know all things? So the first thing is we learned we can't see God. So the next question is, does God know all things? And the question is, or the answer is, yes, nothing can be hidden from God. So repeat after me. Yes, nothing can be hidden from God. So let's put it together. Does God know all things? Yes. Let's try it again. Does God know all things? Nothing can be hidden from God. And then the next question is, well, if he knows all things, the next question is, can he do all things? And the answer to that is, yes, God can do all his holy will. So repeat after me. Yes, God can do all his holy will. So can God do all things? Yes, God. And one of the things that comes up is, well, if God can do anything, why doesn't he make a rock so big that he can crush himself? Well, the second part of the answer is important. Why would he do that? That's not part of his holy will. So God can do all things, but according to his will. He's not going to sin. He's not going to disobey himself. So he will only do things according to his holy will, but he's all powerful and can do all things. All right, we've been learning about our hymn of the month, which is Dare to be a Daniel. Yesterday we learned that Daniel and his band, remember it's not his band that's playing instruments, it's his band, his friends, his people that were with him, got taken into captivity by Nebuchadnezzar. This was part of the punishment from Israel, by God to Israel for disobeying God over and over again. And even in this foreign land with all of these wonderful things around him that the king offered to these elite young men that he thought he could win their favor, Daniel and his band said, no, we're not going to enjoy the pleasures of the world, enjoy the pleasures that were out there, instead we're going to obey God. We don't know why the food that was offered to them was something that they chose not to, whether it was something sacrificed to their idols, or maybe it was food that God commanded them not to eat at that time. Either way, Daniel and his band, his friends, said, no, we're not going to do that. And instead of eating all these choice, yummy, delicious food, they're going to eat vegetables. Like, who eats their vegetables instead of like a buffet of food, right? Oh, okay, good. We got some vegetable eaters. That's great. But Daniel chose to stand with his group against that. So today, even if everyone else was doing it, he stood. So the first life lesson is making sure that we choose good friends. The friends who we surround ourselves with help us make good choices. Today we're going to talk about the importance of standing alone. Later, when Daniel was elevated because of God gave him a supernatural power to interpret dreams, the king Nebuchadnezzar saw that and elevated him to a very high position. Some people even think he was third in command over all of the kingdom of Babylon, which is just this huge kingdom. So even in the midst of that, he would daily go to his room and he would pray. And he would pray often throughout the day. Well, people became very jealous of him and tricked King Nebuchadnezzar into making a law that you couldn't pray to anyone except for the king himself, not knowing that when they did that, he would be condemning Daniel to death. We're very familiar with the story of Daniel in the lion's den, and so Daniel, standing alone, doing what's right, was thrown into the lion's den. But because he was willing to stand alone and stand on God's truth and promises, God saved him supernaturally from these lions. So, lesson number 1 is choose good friends. Lesson number 2 is even if everyone else is doing it, stand alone on God's promises, and because God will be faithful and true to you. Well, this week is Warrior Week, and so we're going to take a pause from our normal hymn of the month, and we're going to sing our school fight song, We will be singing it also for our pep rally, so we want to make sure that we know it by heart. There is a part in the fight song, I think it's towards the end, that it says, "Fight, warriors, fight." So we're going to sing most of it. When we get to there, we're going to shout, "Fight, warriors, fight." And when we do that, we're not going to cause a problem. We can be a full-voiced warrior, but we're not going to scream or be obnoxious with it. So we want to give a nice "Fight, warriors, fight," and we'll sing the rest of the song. All right, so let's sing our school fight song. Great singing, great job. And since it's Warrior Week, we're also working on our sound off. I'll say warriors, and you say fear only God. Let's try that. Warriors? Fear only God. The Lord be with you.